Tim Queen!
Here we go.
So welcome. Today I'm going to teach you how to do personal branding. And I heard in the beginning some people are looking for speaking gigs. Some people are looking to get paid speaking gigs. Some people want to have clients. And this will all be possible if you master personal branding for your business. Has anyone seen this video? Hilarious guy trying to fit in the luggage. This is how it often feels to master any of those aspects. Finding speaking gigs, getting paid for speaking, taking speaking and getting clients from the meetings. And it can be often frustrating. And when you are in the moment and you don't know what's going on, it can just feel like this, but you don't realize something is wrong. And if you can master personal speaking, you suddenly realize what was the missing piece, and suddenly everything makes sense, everything falls into place, and it becomes easy as if it was never a big deal. So, I have a question. Who doesn't know what this picture is? Who has never seen this before? Can I ask you, what do you see?
Yellow slime blob.
Slime blob. Any other idea?
A hat.
A hat?
It's a snake and an elephant.
Okay, you're cheating. This one is from one of my favorite child books. It's from The Little Prince. And as a matter of fact, there was an elephant inside. And I want you to take this as a metaphor. If you want to be perceived as the elephant in the room, but you're only showing this side of yourself, people will not know who you are. If you want to show them this, you have to understand how first impressions work. Who of you would pay £1,000 to get this package? No. No?
No.
Why not?
Depends what's in it.
Could be something really cool inside. What if I showed you this instead? You think that's worth £1,000?
Yeah.
Yeah? So it's sometimes all about the packaging. And I'm going to show you today how to engineer great impressions. So when you're searching for clients, they're not seeing this. That's the first impression of you. So how can we engineer first impressions? Who of you knows how memories work on a neurological level? Okay, let me give you a quick summary. We don't actually, some people assume we just have like this movie recorder, which is recording every single second, every detail, every pixel. But it's not how it works. Our brain is only storing certain key elements. For example, of today, I might remember that we were in a big room and there were people, but I wouldn't remember who was sitting on what chair. I will just remember the detail, room and people, and when I'm trying to remember it, my brain will fill in the gaps. And that might mix something up. I might remember the lamps over there like not in orange, I might think they were blue. So the same is true for first impressions. We don't have the capacity to perceive someone as who they truly are. We only take bits and pieces and then we form like an impression. It's often prejudices or some ideas we might have about someone. And then we make up the rest. We assume someone is walking in, that's an asshole, or this person looks nice. But this is like all happening in our mind. The key in personal branding, what we are doing, we are selecting key puzzle pieces that allow the audience to form the right impression of us. So we have to think which puzzle pieces are we throwing out so the people can then fill in the blank to come to an accurate representation of who we truly are. If you don't understand personal branding, will be how you will be perceived. You're just generic, you could be anyone, and there is a lot of people doing the same thing. But if you get it right, you will be perceived as unique, valuable, and standing out from the crowd. Who knows this scene from The Matrix? So we want to create exactly this. We want you to appear online and offline, like the woman in the red dress walking among people in gray. Yeah, even if you're a guy, this is what we want to get. So what do we need to create a great first impression? We need 4 key elements. We need social proof. We need content. We need the right packaging. And we need channels. The first key elements that everyone needs is social proof. And here's the reason. People don't have time to get to know you. They make split decisions in a microsecond to decide if you are trustworthy or not. So you have to give them the right clues that they can build trust quickly, that they can come to the conclusion you're someone worth listening to. And one of the best ways is to show visuals, to use pictures and videos, because talk is cheap. Everyone can say something, I'm the best of the world. But showing it is a whole another level. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of how to build social proof with images. Who knows who this guy is? Jay Shetty. So what's going on in this picture? Any idea? He's speaking. Yes. He has a microphone. He's on stage. What does that tell us when someone is on stage?
This is authority.
Yeah. Like normal people don't stand on stage. This takes courage to be on stage. But there is a second element that is equally important in this picture. Anyone could take a picture of him or her speaking on stage. If the audience is empty, it looks like someone putting on the crown pretending to be the queen. What's happening here is everyone is looking. I'm not sure if you can see the details, but everyone is smiling. Everyone is paying attention. This woman is turning her head over here. It's like every line is lining up to his head. Everyone is paying attention. Everyone is smiling. So that tells us whatever he is saying is perceived as very valuable by the audience. They enjoy it. They're happy. Here's another one. Who knows who this is? So what's going on in this picture? This guy over here is saying something incredible, smart and charming. What's going on the left side? The girls are smiling. So what does that tell us?
That there's a great energy in the water body.
Yeah? This guy has a sense of humor. If you're German, you have to have some proof that you have a sense of humor. Here's another one. Who knows this guy? Gary Vaynerchuk. What's going on here? This woman excitedly shaking his hand. The woman on the left is taking a picture. Everyone is like queuing up to ask their question. What does that tell us on a subconscious level? That he has more knowledge than anyone and everyone wants to know what he knows. So he's the authority. Here's another one. You can charge. There are so many things that you can do. Just showing like an environment where someone is teaching like a class of people. So this is the social proof. And this is really important. Let me go back one step. So many people who are starting a speaking gig or starting to speak, they don't take advantage of this. They speak, they don't take pictures of them speaking. They don't post this on social media. You have to start documenting your journey. This is really important. Even if you're starting to speak in a crowd of 5 people, it doesn't matter. It's a starting point. If you have multiple pictures of this, this tells other people that you're someone who can be booked as speaker. It gives you proof to get on like bigger stages with more people inside. The second key element that you need is content, putting yourself out there. So this requires 2 things. Let's say you want to get more speaking engagements. And you want to be seen by people who make decisions to book speakers. Then you have to understand the people who make the decision for booking speakers. Who are they? What are their needs? What do they want? What's going on in their life? How can you help them? And then you have to create some content that is really useful for them. If you create really useful content for people who can make those decisions, then you're showing up on their radar. If you're continuously showing up on someone's radar, you're just in the back of their mind. And the next time they're thinking of booking someone as a speaker, suddenly there it is. You just have to be present and showing up every single day. So here are some forms of content that you can think of. You can be on social media. And it starts by having your social media profile. What you're writing on your social media profile, your description, your picture, your background cover image. These are all really important. Even like the URL of your social media profile says something about you. Then you can post different content types based on the social media network. That might be text-only posts. That might be photos that you're sharing. That might be a video that you're uploading on YouTube. It could also be like a PowerPoint presentation that you're sharing on LinkedIn. This is content that you have to continuously put out to get noticed. Not everyone is on every social media network every day, so you have to make sure that you're consistently posting. At some point, everyone will see your content. You can create podcast episodes. You can write articles. If you're lucky enough, this is a great social proof tool. Writing a book, speaking at events, organizing events. You can do interviews on podcasts, on video. You can create slide decks. This is all content. Even like your business card or your website, this is content about you. So you can have all the content in the world. If you don't know how to package your content, nobody will listen. This is the same as here. If you don't package it right, you won't be perceived as this. The packaging makes all the difference, from someone paying nothing to paying thousands of pounds. Here is an example how personal branding is packaged in the right way. This is Jay Shetty. He's a former monk turned influencer, making wisdom go viral. This is a catchy headline. This tells us one of two things. Either he's really good at copywriting, or he is so successful he can pay someone to write a really cool headline about him. You might not see this, but he says, host, storyteller, video maker, former monk, coach, Forbes 30 under 30, 4 billion views. This is authority stacking. This is social proof. He also has this picture in the background where he's speaking in front of an audience. Everyone is paying attention to him. He's speaking again. This is how he's presenting himself on the website. And he makes sure that he's doing this consistently across all different social media networks. This is his Twitter profile. He's repeating the message again. This is content. Award-winning host, storytelling, and filmmaker making wisdom go viral, Forbes 30 under 30. The picture is also equally important. This is a professional taken headshot. And he's using that on Twitter. He's using it on Instagram. So this is really key. People have to recognize you, and they have to associate an image with your name. So you have to make sure that you are like recognized across all different social media networks. Now, you have your content and you have built trust. Now you have to be on different channels. Because if you have like this great message and everyone's trusting you, but nobody knows about you because the content is not out there, because you're not promoting it, you won't get any results. So channels, it starts with your own website. You can post your content on your own website. It can be a description about yourself, about your backstory, about working with you. You can go to other publishing platforms. This is really important, that you're getting some articles out there. Different social media networks, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest. If you're having a podcast, it's not just enough to having the podcast. Nobody will listen to it. You have to get people to discover your podcast existence. So you could, for example, go to podcast directories. Another channel that you can do is people walking to a bookstore. That's when you have like both pieces fit together. You have your book and you want to reach the people in the bookstore. So the book has to be in the bookstore, and then everyone walking in. This is another channel. Events, newspapers, magazine, radio stations, TV networks, phone books, and billboards. And I'm going to help you to understand this more clearly in a visual example. This is how I want you to think about this. There are all those different channels. And some people in each channel might be the person you're looking for. There might be a decision maker here over at the BBC who could book you for a speaking engagement. But to get there, you have to be seen by a lot of different people in this bubble. So what you're basically doing is you're creating content, you're pushing this out in a different channel. As an example, you're writing a book. You're getting this on Amazon. People coming to Amazon, like thousands of people every day looking for books, searching for information. So you're going to the channel of Amazon with your book. Some people will buy the book. Then they're reading the book. If you're putting your contact information inside, they will come back and find your content on your website. They'll find you on social media. And you're basically putting out content in different channels. You're trying to be very selective to find the channels where you have the most impact, where you have the people you want to reach. And then you're bringing them back to your brand. This is how you grow followers. This is how you build an email list. This is how you grow an event series. You're bringing everyone back. And this is how you win in this. You can't just go from zero to being invited on Oprah. You have to think in small baby steps. So if you're just starting out, you want to make sure you might speak in front of 5 friends and take some pictures. And then you might do that a couple of other times. And then you take this and you put this on your website, you're showing some pictures, and then you're pitching yourself to some small events, some small meetups. And then you're getting your first speaking engagement in front of 5 people, 10 people, and you're taking more pictures. And then you're getting and writing your first articles. Even if nobody wants to publish your article, you just publish them on your own website. You write a couple of cool articles. And then you can go to a small publishing platform and you show them the links to your articles that you publish on your own website. And then you're writing a guest post for them. And then you're doing this for a couple of smaller publishing platforms. And this will get you to the next step, where you get like a slightly larger audience. And when you have a couple of those, you get to the larger, big publishing companies. And then you can be invited on a larger podcast. And then all the people coming back to you. And you're also taking this as proof, people who have interviewed you. And when you follow this step-by-step process and you have patience, because a lot of times people fail because they don't have the patience. They just want to jump right from the first pond to the last one. And then they fail. And then they give up. But if you have this goal and you just have trust in it, that each step will lead to the next step. You don't have to know how to get to the last position. You just have to know how to get to the next step. And you do this consistently, then personal branding and getting all of your speaking gigs or paid speaking gigs becomes like this. Easy. And everything falls into place. And it feels completely natural, as if it was the normalest thing in the world.
Cool, let's do it. Do you guys have questions?
How does someone get to the point that they can do that before they start engaging in all of the other bits of business?
I know a lot of people spend a lot of time thinking about their branding in terms of what is my color, what is like my font, like what is my core message, and they spend too much time on this. I would say just select anything and just get started, even like if you're buying a domain name. I know some people spend like a year thinking about which domain name they should buy to start their business. I would just say buy any, which is good enough. And then you start, and once you get traction, you can always rebrand. Like you can just like redirect your website. If you, for example, think about a brand color, you might go black and white, not black and white, black and red. And then this is your color. You can put this, yeah, for fun. It sounds like it would be your color. And then at some point you decide to change it. Then you just like, you just have like taken afternoon of time and you just change all of your social media profiles and suddenly your new color is green. Like it doesn't have to be like perfect. You don't have to start perfect. Just select anything and see how it goes. This is really not how a business fails, like to build an audience because of the color. So like if you have a tagline, do you know how many times I changed my LinkedIn tagline? Probably like 20 times or so. Like you can always change that. Like nobody really cares in the end. I have one more addition to this. For example, starting my YouTube channel. Before I started this, I started publishing videos on LinkedIn, and I really had difficulties getting myself on camera. At some point, I lost actually like a lot of weight. So I was really uncomfortable seeing myself on camera, and then like, listening to your own voice, which sounds really odd if you're not used to it. Like you think like this is normal how you sound in your brain. No, this is normal how you sound to everyone else. So it took me a really long time to get used to this. But the thing is, I started publishing out the video even though I thought it was shit. I'm like perfectionist. But I still decided, you know what, I'm just pushing it out. And then actually people loved it. And the thing is, even if they didn't like it, I would still continue to push it out, because the only way how you can get better is doing it. You have to do it, and then you fail, and you just have to say, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. You just push it out anyway, and then you're becoming naturally good.
Thanks for your talk, Tim. It was really interesting and very creative. I just have one question. How do you balance your social media, and how do you make it always different from, or do you make it different from Twitter to Facebook to LinkedIn? Like, do you make that different, or do you just...
So I understand this as a two-part question. One, time management, and the other one is like how you create new content ideas. So I think you have to do it in bulk. For example, what I do is I have a filming session actually tomorrow. So I have a list of topics that I've pre-created. Like I always have a notebook with me. I'm writing down content ideas when I think this would be something cool to talk about, or this seems to be like a popular question. And then I'm having all my notes with me, and I'm just filming like back to back, one video after another. So I'm doing all the recording on one day, all the editing on another day. And then I can get a lot of content done in a single day. And then you can just publish it or schedule it like either in some tool like Hootsuite, or you can do it like manually. In some platforms, you have to do it manually. You have to be like mindful how you spend your time and your resources. So what I like to do is I think of the smallest common denominator. For example, I know that LinkedIn allows me to have 1,300 characters. So on Instagram or Facebook, I can go 5,000 or more. So instead of writing a 5,000 word post, I'm just writing one that fits on LinkedIn, so I can publish it on all the other platforms at the same time. And sometimes you just have to see which platform is kicking off first. You might not resonate with everyone on every single platform. On LinkedIn, for example, I've grown to 28,000 plus followers, but the same content is not necessarily resonating with people on Facebook. You find more people like who are interested in recipes or in building stuff. On LinkedIn, you find more the people who are interested in marketing. So you can still push out the content, but you just look at what is resonating and then you're adjusting.
Let's hear it one more time, Team Queen.